Good afternoon and welcome to the Morning Cup. Does that sound contradictory? I don't think so. It's March 30th, Sunday, 12:42. They say it's 76 degrees. It feels like it's about 70. I feel pretty good. Actually, last night I slept 8 straight. Didn't even wake up to pee. I don't have any prostate problems. I have in the past, but like I said, prostate cancer is the easiest cancer to cure. I know I've done it twice. There was one, but it's involved anyway, because it's mostly an androgen imbalance. It was nice. The air was nice and dry last night. The pavement was all dry. It was very nice this morning, and then I was going like, oh, geez, I really don't feel like hitting the laundromat. Just wasn't up to it. The weather wasn't improving. It wasn't. Sun wasn't breaking through like, well, of course they kind of called it that way. It was, although they claimed it was going to rain during the night. And I said bullshit. I did the water vapor imagery, sent it to Bruno because they got claimed that they was going to get rain, and I showed them that no, it was all going off to the northeast. His sun was going to get rained on, but not us. So about around 9:30 or something, I was already starting to get hungry because I didn't want to get into making a morning cup of tea because that means I got to finish cleaning and refill my sugar container, bust out the tea, and then really move. Although it's drying up pretty good over there, I'm probably about to move over there shortly because it's, I don't know, anyway. So at a certain point, I started getting hungry, so I ate a few of them New Yorker Tate's cookies. I've got a couple of cousins that lived on Long Island, and my blood cousin, she's a mess. She was born hydrocephalic, but it really limits your lifespan and your potential. Right after I ate the cookies and that stuff, I'm going like, shit. And I just I got fatigued. And even though I'd had 8 hours sleep, it's uninterrupted. When you get to be an old man like me, and actually the first thing I got up, I went and dropped a nice hard, it was a rock hard deuce. I've been right on time. I've been having steady, for a month now. And I think one of the major factors in me really getting to function was, actually I went ahead and realized as long as I'm not mixing it with the banana, I went ahead and got the berry, because I can tell by the taste, majority of that taste is it's like raspberry and probably some cranberry in there. There's supposed to be blueberry according to the little picture on the label or whatever, They got like every berry they could think of in there, so anyway. I got sleepy. Just as I was starting to kind of get into the nod, it started a light misting, just enough to get the pavement damp. You can see it over here. And seeing that's wet. But wasn't really enough to soak my rain jacket. There's the water repellent lining. It's bonded to the outside fabric. It's got a mesh. I like it. It's got a mesh inside. But anyway, so for the last, at least 2 hours or so, I was just kind of relaxing. That's what I need, because yesterday, actually, I did a lot of chores, especially late in the evening. That's when two women pulled up. It kind of goes in with the whole cyberbullying thing. I didn't know what they was up to. All I know is that kind of preceded the evening attack, whatever. Got up, and a woman with short pink hair, Caucasian woman. Pink is out. It's green now. Jill Stein. The green. Green New Deal. That's who you. No more purple. No more pink. Pussy pink's out. It's green. Green is the new hair stain color, whatever. She got out, handed me a $5 bill, and then got back in the car with whoever was driving. Can't see who's driving. And they sat there for like 15 minutes. But then a lot of people pull up here, and they will have just gotten something to eat from Taco Bell or Jack in the Box. They don't want to eat there. They got parking lots, but they pull down here. They get away from the scene of the crime, and then I don't know what they do. Anyway, actually, that feels chilly. I just pulled my hood off to do this video. Actually, with the wind chill, it feels like it's about 65. There's that moisture in the air, that evaporation and stuff like that makes it cooler than what they're registered in their little box. Anyway, I just thought, it was actually considering I really kind of had to work on Shabbos. That was yesterday. Today's the Christian Shabbat, day of rest, and they work their asses off on Sunday. Most of the Christians I know and stuff, they still work on Sunday. They don't really rest. They're running all over and barbecuing and, putting up that new above ground pool out in the backyard behind the double wide. Sorry, I was being classist there. Well, my bully went nuts last night, and the level of stupid that a couple of that shit was. It's actually read one because it was just hilarious. It was just, I hate to keep giving him, but that's what he wants me to do, is to talk about him. I think that kind of turned him on. It really pisses him off when I just completely ignore him and just delete everything he puts up there. Actually, I was starting to get a feeling like it might be a woman, but then again, I've actually heard his voice and seen his left arm up to the elbow. And one video there, which, that took me all of like 15 to 20 seconds to watch that. The pavement's drying out. Pretty soon I'll be able to occupy my little spot over there, because even though they sprinkled last night after at least 2.5 inches of rain, the ground, everything's soaking it up. It's getting dry enough to where I can go over there. Let me look at the bottom of my shoes. It's getting to where it ain't going to start sticking to my shoes. I don't feel like doing nothing except, taking some kind of little trip. It's just, I've been getting trips, at a reasonable price, what it ought to be. $5.50 to go. Uber's claiming it's 0.4 of a mile. It's 0.4 of a mile the way they send their drivers. The way I send the driver, it's 2,300 feet exactly. Well, that still comes out to about 0.4 of a mile. Not sure why. Maybe because I've got to start eating on it. But I was nodding and stuff and just resting and relaxing, and a gentleman walks up and hands me, and apparently it came from HEB. It was tasty. I ate it. I took a risk. I'm a risk taker. It looked like, and was, chicken Alfredo, and the sauce actually tasted like it was made from with actual animal fat in it, I know that the cheese might be up to 20% cellulose, or whatever. it was tasty and mild. And the funny thing is that the man who handed it to me, and it was a good one too. I mean, it was a real meal. It's about the same size as the bowls of stew that I eat. That's the most I can eat at one point. I know not to overeat. That's the worst. My stomach can only, anyway. He looked just like the doctor that was trying to kill me with antibiotics up at the hospital. Looked just like him. Not that I can remember what he looks like much, because like I told you, there was some kind of sedation or something administered to me when they snatched me here I was out. I don't remember, other than when they put this thing around me, I heard like some Velcro kind of sounds and stuff like that, but they had some kind of special pickup deal. The rescue people assisted the ambulance people, and I don't remember. I just remember I was kind of coming to. They were questioning me, asking me kind of vitals or whatever, height, weight, stuff like that. That's when I was talking to the doctor, telling him you have no evidence that it's a microbial pneumonia, but that's look pretty close to. But then there are people in ethnic groups that look almost identical. When I got to a certain age, I'd be in someplace like in Portland, Maine or something, and all of a sudden like some German tourists would go like, Otto, Hans, is that you? How, Hans, what are you doing here in Portland? Because at a certain age, I looked like a stereotypical bald, square-headed German. Didn't look Jewish at all. Didn't really look. Actually, it was kind of going from looking English. I look more English now, I think, than Germanic. Anyway, I got to do something today. Otherwise, that's why I was just napping. It looked like it was going to be a long, boring day. And about the time that I slumped into a comfortable position. That's when this light, fine mist started. I could actually even feel it kind of hitting my hands and stuff. But I was going like, well, it ain't coming down, and I ain't doing shit. I'm not going for that umbrella until actual like raindrops start. As you can see, the roads are still damp, the streets are still damp, it just kind of brings my mood down a bit. Dreary is the term. And tonight I get to go to my bed area early. That was part. I really got to tell you that, seriously, because it's just so fucking hilariously stupid that he actually thinks that I would believe this, but he's getting what he wants, which is for me to talk about this absolute crusty, chronically masturbating meth head, stem fapping. It's got to be a male, because I don't think any woman would be upset, even a lesbian wouldn't be that obsessed or hateful of me this long. And when you look it up, the channel doesn't exist. He's already destroyed the channel. He keeps creating channels, and as soon as I block them, he has no more use for them, because they can't ever be used again on me. He doesn't even really. I know I've taken out. I know he's having to create new channels, and there are channels for sale out there. Channels where people have lost control of them, and good hackers have gained control of them. And they sell them. People sell Facebook pages, and DoorDash. People sell, create multiple DoorDash accounts with their ID, and turn around and sell them to the illegal immigrants and asylum seekers that are living in luxury hotels in New York City right now. They're out there making, $100 a day. Between the door dashing, they steal themselves a bike somewhere or something like that, and they buy an active DoorDash account off of somebody. That's already been reported by one of the Jewish channels, Nate Feldman or something like that. He was reporting about the situations there in the Jackson area or something. It's the district that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez runs, and it's just nothing but prostitutes and drug dealing and door dashing for illegals and asylum seekers, having illegal jobs and shit like that. It's just, and they got cops everywhere. Yeah, she wants to defund the police, but at the same time, in her own district in New York City, she got cops all over the place because they have to maintain order. It's getting pretty out of control. I'm glad Trump's shutting that shit. You think that after seeing the luxury hotel that they're keeping migrants in, and I'm sure they're feeding them right there too. Why not? It's got a kitchen and stuff. I think that was the Jefferson. That was got a $250 million contract with Pakistani Airlines, which I'm pretty sure is a nationalized nationally. Literally $250 million they were giving to a failed country whose entire economy revolves around two crops, which means it's up and down depending on the price of that crop and the market and the weather. Pakistan is really fucked up because it's literally, I did watch a valid video about the fact that Pakistan hasn't diversified and that really the entire country's, the basis of their economy is two different crops. That's it. Real smart. Then they have to do things like this, like suck money through their influence and their connections, their Jew hate connections in this country, which New York City is full of Jew haters. The first real pogrom in modern times happened recently in Brooklyn, and it was spurred on by politicians. Actually, I think it was a black politician that really let it off. And all the Jew hate and all that shit, it's been under the Biden administration. Yeah. And actually, I watched UN watch the results from yesterday. Watched that. About to get on to my other. And the black spokesman he actually wrote it. He let the Palestinian have to do a point of order, and then the UN Watch, the Jewish dude who was trying to make sure that this absolute Muslim-loving, Jew-hating bitch who's fucking just keeps getting billions of dollars poured into Gaza for their arms and stuff like that. They're not feeding people there. The only people that's eating in Gaza are members of Hamas, and they're almost all members of Hamas, and the rest are a bunch of sad losers that are being used as human shields. That sucks ass. They even asked me for money for the poor starving of Gaza on my, through YouTube here. Yeah, not a fucking dime, motherfuckers. You can fucking go eat your own shit. You should be eating your own shit, or eating the shit of your Hamas leaders. You and your fake protests against Hamas. Yeah, we are. I saw that. And on another note, early this morning, it came up on my news notification. The guy, he's actually already resigned. He's got criminal accusations of fraud and incompetence and shit like that coming at him. The Medicaid subcontractor in this area, there's two of them. You can either go with United Healthcare, whose CEO got capped, as you know, a few months ago. And then you got this other guy, I was going to remember his name, I can't, he's already resigned. They're the ones that called me up around January, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever, told me I had to change doctors to a doctor that's closer so they could make more money. Because I was eating into their profits on the transportation. I barely just now got a doctor that I can keep at a distance. I'm supposed to see a doctor supposed to actually see a doctor in January for my Medicare wellness check. That's where they make a shit ton of money off of running tests and shit, and it's doing nothing for me. And my last time I had one, I came up with flying colors. Then I had another exam for the surgery, and it's once again I produced like perfect blood pressure, everything, all my blood chemistry, everything, all organs functioning perfectly. And that's where I'm sorry I didn't finish it. The urban virologist known as Paralegal Beagle, which is a ripoff of an actual existing channel, started off by saying, I'm an urban virologist. I'm sorry, you're either a virologist or you're not. There is no such thing, no designation as an urban virologist. What, you would be a rural virologist? Really? And claims to have sampled my sleeping area and found traces of hepatitis. Well, there's different types of hepatitis. One of them is purely chemical type, or that's one of those chemicals would be alcohol. But this idiot who actually thinks that I have enough viewers that are that fucking stupid would actually believe this. Number one, the person doesn't identify themselves, nor it's a bullshit channel. It's just by using the term urban virologist. And I hope you don't mind I invaded your sleeping. Nobody's been over there fucking around with the area I sleep in. Even the employees who used to sometimes take a smoke break out there or something like that, or the occasional ones that would stop and drink something that they picked up, some local homeless or walker type would sit there and drink, like a bottle of Starbucks or something, and like leave it there, which I would then put in the trash. But nobody's been in that area, and it's spotless and shit. The only that problem is that that basket, that supermarket basket, shopping cart, that crazy woman the other night, 3 o'clock in the morning, came rolling up with a bucket full of fire and leaves and shit in it, and just going, it's still there. That's because I got no place to put it, and neither do they. You're not supposed to put them in dumpsters. And for one thing, it's too fucking heavy. It's a big one. It's not one of the little tiny ones. Thing probably weighs about 80 pounds. I certainly don't have the strength to take both arms to heave it up into that dumpster and get rid of it. I could put it in a dumpster container, but the drivers don't want you to do that because it blocks their picking and setting that thing up and picking it up and down. So I just pushed it down at the end of the building and left it there. It's up to them. It's not my problem. I didn't commit the crime. I didn't fucking leave the shit there. That's the kind of crap that he was up to last night. He often does that on Saturday night. At first, he started off with him and his husband. I assume he's the catcher. That's just the way he strikes me, is that, telling him, like the woman telling the husband what to say. Go to Starbucks and get yourself an espresso, yelling it out, and enjoy the free Wi-Fi. That's what he did on a Saturday night. Got all kind of money, and yet that's what he does on Saturday night. Am I making myself clear as to just what a fucked up human being that I've had fucking? And I know for a fact that he at no time has really actually, that's the closest he's come to invading my space. And he was hiding on the far side, the dark side of that vehicle, driving it, not opening his mouth because I know what his voice sounds like. And he's older than that young. I figured he married him a young man, since he's the rich older man. Yeah, I figure he's gonna get married. I mean, everything points at the fact that he's gay as shit. So, yeah, that's kind of the situation. Is the Superior Health, because it's either United Healthcare. The sun's finally, for the first time today, look at it. It's breaking through. You see how it's lighting up, shining off those cars over there. There it is, right there. It's almost at the high noon point. Finally, starting to break through and give me some. We need that. We need some dry air. This morning, when I first woke up, the air was dry. Everything was dry. You know, wasn't damp, and then it started getting damp about 9:30 or whatever. So that's kind of the state of it. Is I got to find a local doctor because I'm really not planning on going anywhere. I'd love to just take off and, you know, go somewhere, but everywhere I can think of, it's worse than here. The libs run all the big cities that I'd have to go through to get to even to a rural area. And then when I got to that rural area, how am I going to find the same kind of, you know, good quality food that I'm getting here? Low toxicity food. I haven't, oh gosh. It's been so long. It's been many years since I even had an out-of-state trip. I've been, you know, traveling between counties and stuff like that, just doing that medically. The sun keeps threatening to come break through. I sure as shit hope it does. It's supposed to get up warm. It's today and stuff, but it's been cool enough all morning for me to wear a jacket and a hood and during that misty shit. But anyway, yeah, you can, if you're a local, you don't look at, you already may know, but it's actually by the time they publish the accusations against them or whatever for some sort of malfeasance or misappropriation of funds or something like that, the CEO of Superior, because a lot of people are abandoning. In every region of Texas, you usually only got your choice of two. They give you a choice of two private subcontractors, and in this area, it's either United Healthcare or Superior. And actually, I've been with Superior for a long time. There's a clue right there that tells me I should go from the Baylor Baptist Scott and White to the Catholics, because that's seems to be who Superior works with better, because Baylor Baptist Scott and White entered into a healthcare alliance with United Healthcare, the money-grubbing, thieving, murderous insurance company, whose chief executive officer was appropriately executed for crimes against humanity, for literally killing tens of thousands of people for profit. Yeah, United Healthcare, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I've got Pflugerville PD watching me vlog right now, and if the window's open, he can probably hear me. I doubt it. They usually have to run the AC all the time because they're wearing a vest. Anyway, 30 minutes. I haven't had any caffeine today. I haven't had any green tea. For one thing, I'm not having any tooth pain, and I was thinking if I had me a cup of tea, I'd have to start with Ambisol and then, wait 20, 30 minutes where I can actually taste it in tea. Dan Wolf, that's why I don't use oil of cloves. Is once you start using oil of cloves, your breath and you pretty much taste all day long while using it, because it does have to be reapplied every couple of 3 hours, much like everything else is cloves. I just don't. Clove oil is very toxic. They actually make clove cigarettes. They spray clove oil on tobacco and shit. The real big sellers in Indonesia where they like a real potent, cigarette, a real pungent, real. But what is that called? Is that eugenol? Anyway, I don't really. Clove oil is. I'll use that as I still prefer menthol. Clove oil is good for a topical anesthetic if I'm sewing somebody up on a shallow, But actually menthol, since it's hydrophilic, penetrates the skin better than really if you have, can obtain really good, strong, close to pure menthol. I've used menthol many times. I used to carry that in my medical kit to sew myself or other people up. Because you rub it on the skin, and you rub on some more and rub on some more. You can even put it on a wound, it won't fuck it up. Whereas that clove oil will. You can't. And of course you can use benzocaine. The question is, you really need something other than the tooth deals. You really need benzocaine powder. You can actually extract about 2 ounces of pure benzocaine powder out of a 20-ounce deal of gay anal lube and painkiller. Did you know that? That's how much benzocaine is in anal lube, that anesthetic anal lube that gay men use. Because I'm a big fan of Nile Red, and one time he extracted it. It's 2 ounces out of 20. That's a strong fucking solution. Anyway, I'm already exhausted again. I'm just fatigued. I'm old. I'm old. I'm tired. I just want to die. I'm quoting a death camp survivor in the Blackstone in Miami back in the late 70s. It's weird to hear that coming. And now I'm getting hungry for cookies again. I just ate. My appetite's been up lately. Don't need to gain any weight though. But I mean, I want to do something, but I'm kind of doing something right now, which is I'm preoccupying my mind with this highly therapeutic talking to a screen and watching myself, and just talking about kind of the news of the day. I had my weirdo stalker struck about 3 times during the night. I think that was the number of channels I had to block and stuff. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Damn, it's almost warm enough now for me to take my cap off. Yeah, all I'm thinking about right now is like something sweet and creamy. I love the chocolate chips, but actually I'm handling the crunching pretty good. I don't really have any dental pain. I haven't needed to use the benzocaine, the Ambisol at all today. I've had but then again, I haven't been chewing right over that tooth and been agitating it. But I've been having tooth pain there for about 10 or 12 days. But yeah, that pavement is absolutely dry. It looks dark under the tree. That's because the tree shades it. And if you look close enough, you can see there's moss beginning to grow on the pavement. That's where it is. And the organic, the waste that comes out with the water out of the stoma, wherever there's organic material over pavement, over concrete, that concrete's gonna get dark. It has to be out in the sun and be constantly getting bleached and rained on. And there it fits. Now that the air's starting to dry out a bit and the sun's starting to peek out, I'm really getting the urge to just go and do something. So, but I don't want to do laundry, because if I do laundry, that means I'm going to do a chemical bath. And by this time of the day or for the rest of the day, sure as shit, like if you're in there for more than a minute or two, some woman's going to come over and yank on that door to make sure you're not in there, because she knows you're homeless. People in general are kind of assholes. They really are. They go around poking their fucking noses, their tits, sticking their tits and their dicks into places that they really shouldn't. And they frequently fucking get people like me telling them to go fuck themselves. Like that woman who one day 5 times in a row asked me, "Are you sure?" After offering me, and which at the end I had to say, "God damn it, I said no the first fucking time." She kind of jumped. She realized that she really pissed me off by pulling that female. "Are you sure that I can't just shove it down your throat? Are you sure? Are you sure?" And I told you before, men have their irritating behaviors, and you women do too. And that "are you sure" shit really gets on my fucking nerves, because I've heard it about 40 million fucking times here. "Are you sure you don't want this pile of steaming shit that I just brought you? No good, toxic, pure Franken food, guaranteed to give you the shits instantly, because it's fucking like 40% fucking seed oil by weight and probably 80% by calorie count." I've had people bring me some of the most dreadful looking and dreadful fucking food and stuff. That's stuff that they just love. "Yeah, I eat this all the time. It's from the Greasy Spoon." And I couldn't believe that they actually actually ate it. That's how I told you. The only reason I ate and accepted was because it was hot. That means it probably gotten hot enough to be sterilized. No viruses in there. Actually, it was still hot enough to have killed any virus. It only takes about 120 degrees. That's the first step in the sterilization of cocoa or chocolate. First step is I think it's only just 15 seconds at 120 degrees will kill every virus in there. Bacteria take a lot longer and higher temperatures. Look it up. See what the first step of sterilizing chocolate is. I think it's 120 degrees for only 15 seconds. I want to go hunting, tasty foods. I want to, hey, HEB. And that was from HEB. He may be, because a lot of people watch it. In the past, I used to actually have 15,000 unique viewers, and about 3,000 of them were in this immediate area. And of course, viewership is way down because I'm, not out there putting the smack down on Hobo Shitstain anymore. Leave Hobo Shitstain alone. He's dead, man. Dude, I'm not going to leave Adolf Hitler alone, so you can go fuck yourself. I'm not going to fucking leave alone some child rapist dude. I don't give a fuck if he's dead. He's still going to be a piece of shit, yeah. And so is Mark Nichols for, all these people coming on there defending him. All that does is just tell me that you were gay. You wanted to stick your dick in that old toothless mouth of his, and that you wanted his good drunken. According to one guy, he loved opium tea or whatever it is. If you're actually coming on here and trying to defend, coming on my channel and trying to defend a fucking career lying criminal and shit, it just, fuck you. You don't speak ill of the dead, man. We speak ill of the dead all day long. Hitler, Stalin, you name them. You know, it's pretty soon it'll be Joe Biden. Yeah, we'll be telling the real story of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, who now no longer has any Secret Service detail to protect him and shit. He's on his own, buddy. You better keep that fucking nose clean now, Hunter. You ain't walking away. Secret Service ain't extracting you from the jails anymore and shit. Every time you get busted with a fucking nose full of fucking cocaine or meth and you know, or dead, you know, laying on top of a dead hooker, 12-year-old hooker. Yeah, those days are over, buddy. Your glory days are done. I'll let y'all go. 40 minutes, that's enough. It's maybe all I do today, unless I go to HEB and do a little walk around and because before I throw that frying pan away, which I'm considering doing, I have so little use for it. It just came with the kit, you know. I was really only after the pot, not the pan. I can get actually an excellent one with a good, you know, fixed handle and stuff like that. And 8 inches at the bottom. It's wider at the. It's got a fucking PFA fucking non-stick coating on it. Get one for like $5 or $6 at Walmart. Good heavy one. It's not that thin. But I might be willing to use that pan one last time to cook up a nice. Anytime they do that open and slam the door thing, because their doors are jars. Because I've had so many people run off that. Come running up here, handing me a dollar bill, or come running up behind me. I like the way I'm sitting right now because you're not going to creep up on me. I've had at least 50 times I've had people come get out of vehicles, and you know, at least 50 times, and run up behind me. Little young girls, young teenagers, boys, and all kind of people. A woman that was driving like some kind of big truck or something stopped and came over. And black one came over and handed me a couple of bucks or something. Yep, I'm seeing patches of blue. Finally. It's been overcast. This morning it was overcast, but the air was dry. I'm seeing plenty of. So we got a chance at some sunshine. And I'll probably go do the chemical bath and the laundry in the morning. I sure slept more comfortably last night. I was 8 hours straight without having to. Even when I'm at home, I usually wake up and use a urinal because I know to get up and go to take a leak generates too much adrenaline and will just wake you up. And that adrenaline will make you produce more urine. I've got this shit down. But that was great. When I woke up, I was going like, oh, I feel pretty rested. I wonder what time it is. And by the time I got my phone out and checked the time, I realized shit, sun's about to come up. And checking it, it slept 8 straight and hadn't even woke up to pee. You get to my age and you don't wake up in 8 hours, in bed to go pee. At least if you don't do it at least once, that's your prostate and all your stuff's working great. I'm glad the grackles ain't attacking each other too. The males are doing a lot of display, but the combat between the males hasn't really escalated much yet. It's coming. And then it won't stop for 6 months. God, I want to do something. That's right. They got barbecue pits out at the lake, don't they? Problem is, though, I'd have to take my pain pills. I'd have to use valuable pain pills to accomplish that. To make like Uber over to HEB, and hell, I wouldn't. Actually, I'd probably use would actually just collect. I've got enough around here. Wood where I could just bundle it up and put it in a bag. It doesn't take much for me to cook a steak. It doesn't. You ain't gonna see me wasting wood or charcoal on a steak that only needs a few minutes on each side. I've already got my salt in a bag because it's getting wet. That's one possibility. Stop at HEB and pick up a nice, tender, well-marbled piece of beef and go out but that's the problem is I got to get the Uber driver, I got to convince him to drive exactly to, I wonder if I can pull it up that good enough to where I can spot the barbecue pits at the Pflugerville Lake. My mind's always thinking of shit like this, and then I get tired of thinking of it, then I take another nap. Actually, when you get to be my age, you should nap regularly, but preferably lying down, not sitting up the way I do it. It's bad for the edema. And I finally figured out the other night, actually, what I'd been crossing my legs. I was charging my phone in the evening, and the night that I fell down, I couldn't get up because I pitched forward. I didn't go back, and even I snagged the wheelchair. The wheelchair came over on me, and the other night I figured out what it was is that I went to stand up, and the front part of my feet were completely numb, so that I get this urge to fall forward. Actually, I get that urge anytime I'm leaning forward, washing my face. If I close my eyes, I get this feeling like I'm going to go down forward because I really, I have some neuropathy in my feet, which you would too if you fucking ran as many miles on pavement as I did and fucking played on AstroTurf and shit. Your feet and knees and hips and fucking back and shit would be fucked up too. So there's a whole world of opportunities out there now that I've got my $963. That's more than I used to make. But then I got, a room in the bachelor's officers' quarters and meals, and all my laundry was all done for me. Even I got shaved and got my shoes polished by inmates and shit like that. But I think they used to only pay us like, seriously, a starting, probational correctional officer at TDC in 75 was only getting paid about $693 a month. And you get paid on the 15th and the 30th. Or the 1st and the 15th, 1st and the 15th. And that's how it's changed. I actually get more now at the lowest level of SSI than I did working my ass off. But then again, that was 50 years ago. A whole different economy. I'll let you go. It's 48 minutes. That means I'll have to go charge up here shortly because I'll probably burn my battery down uploading this. Although this is the best, this phone has the best battery manager I've ever had on any phone. The battery saver actually works, and it's really, this thing was built to, and the battery system is turbocharging. It's, as long as I'm like above 10% on this phone, it never takes more than 30 to 40 minutes to top it off at 100%. I'll see you guys later. Now that I've had a little morning nap after a good 8 hours sleep and shit. Actually, they did a study a long time ago saying that human beings actually need 9 hours sleep a day. And that's what I've been telling people for a long time, is you need about 6 hours at night, and then you need about a 3-hour siesta in the afternoon. You need to split your work periods. And there are a lot of scientists that agree with me that those cultures that adhere to that's best, that matches your biochemical cycles more accurately. It's best to get up early, go to, take a nap in the afternoon, and That allows you to stay up a little later than normal. You know, it's either you have to. But I really do believe that, especially as you get older, you need 9 hours horizontal every day to really fully regenerate, let your brain rest too and stuff, and regrow your muscle and shit. You don't grow muscle by pumping iron every day. You destroy muscle doing that. Anybody knows anything about it knows that you need to wait about 48 hours in between heavy lifting. If you do heavy lifting every day, you're just destroying your body, and eventually your muscles are going to shrink. This is not Hollywood. This is not the movies. Where dock workers or something like longshoremen, when they used to have to carry around 100-pound bags or stuff like that, they don't get just older and really heavily muscled. No, you get old and scrawny because you're not resting your muscles enough. I love that green coming out, that drab, those naked trees, the grayness of winter. I hate winter. It's just, I think I'm like most people. I like to be in perpetual springtime where everything's in bloom. The grass is deep, rich green, and the birds are singing and humping their brains out and flying, flirting and flying around. And I think that's what the typical, springtime to me is where it's at. I really not that big on, hot ass summer weather, cold winters, and that slow dying process of fall. I don't like that at all. I really don't enjoy fall other than the past. Fall indicated it's time to plant the marijuana seed. And by the way, they're about to make medical marijuana illegal in this state again. They're working on that. And the shit wasn't any good anyway. By law, it couldn't have any more than like 3 100ths of 1% Delta 9 in it, which means you'd have to fucking, like eat a pound of the shit and be crapping it out before you even got high off of it. It's absolutely not medically correct. It was all a political scam to begin with, and the lieutenant governor is one of the main behind Dan Patrick. I think I'm like most people. I'm like a lot of Democrats. I hate the guy. He's got this rude, elitist fucking attitude that's just like Charlie fucking Kirk. Homeless. Just get rid of them. Trump. I want those encampments, removed. I'm going to finish with this. The definition of politics is 2 or more people. And if your position on something directly impacts me, then I politically disagree with you and don't like you. And Mr. Trump, you continue to tread on thin water with me, thin ice with me, talking about tariffs on this and that. And talking about when you told the Washington, D.C. mayor to clear the homeless encampments and shit, or that you would do it, it didn't make any other qualifiers, like you didn't have any provisions for where these people are going to go and stuff. That's when I saw you, as I've always seen you, as a highly flawed human being that's only slightly better than the degenerate pervert kitty fiddling President Joseph Biden that you replaced. You're only just slightly better and have some sense of morality as compared to that kitty fiddler, little girl, hair sniffing, touching, creepy Joe Biden. Trump, you're only just barely one step ahead of him. And that ain't saying much. That's it. That's the definition of politics, is 2 or more people trying to negotiate through this existence. And if what you want damages me, then fuck you.